Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Shauna from Created and Made, and today I'm going to show you guys what happens when you take your grungy prints and your gilding flakes and combine them together to make what I'm calling gilded grunge. It is fancy. It is very fancy. Fun stuff ahead. Stay tuned. Okay, so I'm jumping right in here and I'm starting off by creating my grungy print. Now I did a whole video, a thorough video on creating grunge, and I will link it up top. But what are you seeing me do here is I put some acrylic ink onto the plate. I have spread it around with my paintbrush, and now I'm spraying it with isopropyl, drying it off, spraying it with isopropyl, drying it off, and doing that a few times to create sort of this more layered sort of depth in the grunge print itself. Now, I'm going in here with my gilding sheets. Now, you've seen me use some larger gilding sheets that are 5.5 by 5.5 inches. I had a bunch of those. I tried them with this technique. It did not work. What I found is that with these gilding sheets, each brand is its own entity and it functions and it behaves differently. So these little ones, as you can see me doing here, you can kind of burnish them into the plate, and they will become stuck to the spaces where there is no ink. Now, the larger sheets, they don't burnish, like they just kind of crack, and so I use those for my cracking technique. But these smaller sheets burnish. You can rub them into the empty spaces on the plate and they will function really well. Now, I also showed you how I cleaned up there, because this can look very messy and intimidating, but it really cleaned up very easily. I just brushed the extra flakes into the trash, and now I am preparing to pull the print. I used a little more paint than I normally would because it has so much texture here, and I'm giving it a good burnish to pull the print. And as you can see, I made my grunge print very fancy. It is gilded grunge. That is why I called it what it is. Now, you can use this technique for any print that you have that has a lot of empty spaces in it. You can sort of burnish the gilding sheets into those spaces. I happen to want to do it with the grunge to see what we can get, but you can do it with any print that has a lot of empty spaces. Now, I'm just doing a second print, and this one has 3 different colors instead of the single color you saw me do in the first print. Now, this just gives a lot of depth to the grunge, and if you watch my grunge video, you'll see me do this technique there too. It gives you a lot of depth because you have the light, medium, and dark colors, and it really makes the print it takes it to the next level. So here I am just rubbing on the gold foil. Now, you can also try to use gilding flakes for this. I tried using them. They drive me nuts, so I did this instead. But they can be used. If yours dissolve well by rubbing, then you can definitely use those for this technique. Now, here I am pulling this print, and as you can see, there is a ton of detail, a ton of depth, a ton of just texture and shimmer and shine. That one came out really nice. It's probably my favorite one. So this next print is just the water technique, which is just another way to create grunge. Now, I rolled on some regular acrylic paint onto my gel plate, and then I splashed it and sprayed it with a bunch of water. Now, what you didn't see happen, because I did it off camera, is that you let the acrylic paint part dry, and then you come in and lift the water up with something else. You can use a towel. I use a piece of absorbent paper. And so I'm going in now with a second layer, and I'm doing the same thing. I just rolled out the acrylic paint over the top in a lighter blue color and sprayed it with the water. And now I'm going to let the acrylic layer dry and then pull up the water. And then you get the spaces where the water was located are now empty and blank and ready to be filled in with my silver foil. So I'm just going to burnish this on in to my spaces and get ready to pull this print. Now I'm using my titanium white here and rolling out the paint to be pulled. And I'm using this paper I'm using is an 80-pound cardstock, 80-pound pure white cardstock. So this, you can see how the grunge is very grungy, but then that using that foil adds just another layer of intrigue, another layer of texture, etc. Now what I'm going to do here is just pull a series of prints without going through the whole process. I didn't look at that one for very long. I don't think I liked it very much. But here is just like I said, a series of prints. I think there are 4. This is one, this is the second one, and yeah, they're gonna be a couple more. I didn't think you guys needed to see the whole process again. It's pretty straightforward once you've seen it. It's just you know, different ways of creating the grunge and then going in with whatever foil you choose. Now there are going to be several links in the description to the foils that I used here, and like, use what you have by all means, but understand that if it's not working, then you may need a different foil. I found that these foils are really very finicky. They're very specific, and some of them do one thing and some of them do another, and they may not do the same things. So this is the final print, and I did with pitch black alcohol ink, which is a very interesting color. It bleeds out a lot of different shades of gray and brown, and I like that, how that one came out. So here's my recap. And I'm showing you all the prints that I created here on this video, and some you didn't see me do. I did those off camera, but I'm also going to show you guys the ghost prints that I pulled, which is just a lot of the little bits of paint and foil that were left over on the plate. And those prints are perfectly usable. In fact, they're even a bit more versatile than the very loud and bright foiled prints that we've been looking at. And so I picked my favorite. That's it. Let me know which one you like the best in the comments. I hope you guys liked this video. And if you did, please go ahead and leave a like, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I hope to see you guys next time, and in the meantime, keep creating and making. Have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.